Hey guys, I am super sick and I am running on day 2. Oh, whoops. I think my TV is on in the background. I will be right back. I'm running on day 2 of little to no human contact and oh shoot, now I have to cough. And I am feeling bad about the amount of work that I have missed, but I am also on NyQuil right now. And I am really not feeling great. I'm one of those people who, when I get a bad head cold, chest cold, whatever it may be, and I do get sick a fair amount, maybe that is something to bring up with my doctor. I don't know, but I am somebody who needs to take the whole day. My job requires a lot of thinking, and I really feel like I cannot do it, if I'm feeling really dizzy, experiencing vertigo, or feeling really achy and a lot of pain and feeling feverish and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm running on day 2 of this, and I really need to cheer up, you guys. Like, I have been talking to my people, my friends, my family, but not nearly as much as I would like. I've also been talking a lot to my cat. Clearly, I'm turning into a cat lady. It's all happening before my eyes on this channel. You guys are privy to that knowledge first. Lucky you. Just kidding, guys. But oh man, I have to cough again. Okay, I'm gonna pause it again. Sorry, the coughs are just so nasty that I'm like, I don't really know. Should I bear it all and do it on screen? I don't really know. I'm also a little bit worried that I have a slight ear infection in this ear because I can, I don't know, like it's kind of painful, but it's not that bad. Ugh. I don't know. With this stuff, you're always like, when do you go to the doctor? Like, what, they're gonna give me some Dayquil and Ricola, like, that's already what I'm taking, so. Anyway, but now that I'm done complaining, like, clearly I'm very over being sick. I'm only 2 days in, and I'm already like, really? Another one? Because I really do get sick a lot. I get sick probably once every 3 or 4 months, and it's usually bad enough that I take off work. And I don't like it, you guys. I'm really not into it. I'm really over it. It was fun once, but no longer, I mean, no, it was never fun. But like, to entertain myself, maybe, I thought I would come up here and do, like, a different story. Actually, hold on. I have a prop. Let me get the prop. So in my younger years, I had a lot of fun. I don't know. I feel like I've come on here and I talked about not always being super responsible with alcohol and stuff, and so I thought, why not share some of these, like, really funny stories? And maybe they will only be funny to me. I don't know. And then I also don't know, like, how much I should tell, because some of these stories are pretty messy. But here's my prop. It's this book called Who Are We? And Should It Matter in the 21st Century? An Indispensable Guide to Identity Politics by Gary Young. And the reason why this is a prop is because I was given this book after a very hilarious one-night stand with somebody that I met at a party at my apartment. And they were somebody who I didn't know. I think they were like a friend of a friend of a friend. And I was 22 at the time, and they were, I guess, 20. Which doesn't sound bad now. I mean, it sounds like 2 years, like, that's not a big deal. but they were in college and I wasn't. And I was living in Chicago and they weren't. They were going into school in a suburb. And I went back with them that night to their frat house and stayed with them in their frat house. It still feels like very silly and ridiculous to me that I left my apartment. Like, I was like a grown person with my own digs, and I left that to go stay at a frat house. There we go. So what happened was my friend, so it was actually my friend's party, my roommate's party. He was having a kegger. And it's not like we had keggers, like, ever. Like, I think this was the only one that we had ever had, but we were, like, very, like, proud of, like, having a space where you could have a keg, I guess, like, where it was possible. 'Cause 22, right? Okay, so we get the keg, and we have the party. I'm a very, like, intense and, like, angsty person. I don't know if you've picked up on that yet or not, but, oh man, I'm just, like, sweating here. Oof. Man, being sick sucks. So, throughout basically this party, I was just, like, talking about how much men suck and, like, how you can't trust anyone and everyone's horrible. Like, clearly nothing has changed. And this guy who was, like, very, like, this dude was, like, I don't know, just, like, the epitome of a frat boy. Like, blonde, blue eyes, had a lot of stupid things to say, but, like, he also had this, like, bad boy edginess or something. I don't know. He took an interest to me, and I, like, can't remember exactly why. It was something along the lines of, he, like, came up to me at one point, and he was like, I kept on trying to hate you throughout the night, because you were, like, spouting this, like, feminist agenda, like, you were super obnoxious and annoying, and I kept on wanting to hate you, but then I was, like, watching you. And I watched you, like, clean up that person's throw up, and put that person to bed, and, like, wipe up, like, all these drinks. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm the host of the party. Like, clearly I need to be taking care of people. And he was like, yeah, but, like, all whilst being the most obnoxious person in the room, but slowly, like, clearly you're, like, a good person. Like, that's so obvious to me, and I like you. And I was like, oh, really? Like, you don't like her over there? And he was like, well, truth be told, this is what he told me. Truth be told, my pickings are slim. And then he, like, pointed out why his pickings were slim, like, who was taken, and then, like, who was just, like, so, like, less attractive than me, like, even though I was, like, not that attractive. Like, because he pointed that out. He was like, you know, like, I wanted to hate you. I wanted you to be, like, this, like, ugly feminist person. And I don't think you're even that cute, but I like you anyway. And, right, like, Diana today would probably be like, well, that is a crock of shit. Like, you need to rewire the way that you think about everything. It's not flattering that you're telling me that you like me anyway. Like, that's not how you flirt with people. You need to, like, take yourself 2 pegs down. Like, clearly you haven't gone many places in the world and you need a little perspective in your life. But no, like, the 22-year-old Diana was like, oh, you like me? Oh, cool. I was also, like, very drunk or whatever. So I start making out with this guy, and for whatever reason, oh, right. So my friend had thrown up and was sleeping in my bed, and I think she might have thrown up in my bed. It was just all calamity, like, problems all around. So he was like, oh man, like, I really like you, like, we should take it back to my place. And I was like, your place? Like, didn't you say you were in college? And he's like, yeah, I live in this, and this frat. And I was like, okay. Like, why? Why? Actually, I don't even really remember this part of the night. I don't know. So we go to his place. And this is the reason why I actually remembered that this had even happened to me, was because his place was just full of ZQL. Like this was like actually shortly after I learned about what ZQL even was. It's like NyQuil without the Benadryl, or maybe no. It's like just the Benadryl, and it's not the acetaminophen or whatever else, like the pain relievers and the stuff for when you're actually sick. So I see ZQL everywhere, and I was like, dude, like, do you have sleeping issues? Like, are you cool? And it like opened a whole conversation up about problems, I guess, in our lives. And he kept on telling me, like, honestly, I think this person was really, really smart. And I think this person was interested in the fact that I gave off this, like, very self-righteous. And I've gotten so much better about it. Like, I think I'm still a little bit obnoxious about it, but I'm nowhere near where I was when I was 22. Like, that I give off this, like, very, like, obnoxious, like, I know how to save the people vibe or something. Like, something very unwieldy, to say the least. So he kept on saying, like, he was like, yeah, like, you really get me, don't you? Like, but it felt very much like this, like, interesting banter back and forth, where this person was aware that I was trying to get them to bare their soul to me, but, like, was also kind of, like, captured under my spell or something. Like, it was like this, like, I don't know, we were both, like, playing into each other a lot, and, like, I don't know, like, making each other way too important, like, period, I think. But in the moment, he ended up, like, opening up to me about a lot of things, and, like, showed me, like, the scars on his body where his dad had, like, burned him with cigarette butts, and, like, all this shit, and was like, you know, people don't know about this part about me. You can't really tell people about it in this private institution here. There's a lot of, like, elitism and stuff. And I was like, yeah, like, I'm starting to realize more and more that people really aren't who you think they are on a surface level, and we can't draw stereotypes from one's identity or one's background or anything. It's so much more complicated than that. And he gave me this book, and he was like, I just read this book in, like, some class, like, some poli-sci class he was taking. And he was like, it's been really nice just hanging out with you. And I want you to have this book. And so I took the book. And I, like, go back on a train, and I go back home. It's, like, a really long train ride, and I'm, like, hungover. It's horrible. But this person, like, I was, like, captivated by this person. This person was crappy to me. They, like, told me that they didn't think I was that attractive, and, like, that I would, like, do, and that they, like, found me obnoxious but still managed to like me for whatever reason. And I don't know, like, in a lot of ways just was not somebody I should have ever returned interest to, because it wasn't equal, you know. But story of my life. Just kidding. I've gotten a lot better about it. But anyway, I don't know, this person, like, was really stuck in my mind. And honestly, actually, right now, I don't remember his name. I don't. Maybe it started with an M, but, I don't know. So, I remember looking him up on, like, Facebook or whatnot afterwards and finding him. And maybe, like, I sent him a message, but I can't remember, or maybe I almost sent him a message and then I didn't. But we never talked after that. And I, like, thought about him for a really long time. I don't know. I don't know why I thought about him for so long. Certain people, like, it definitely hasn't always been that way. Like, certain people, I think, you know, I've touched more than they've touched me. And then vice versa. And it makes sense that there's never, like, a given equality in the way that we touch each other. I think that makes perfect sense, because why would it be that way? Because, like, we all have so many different experiences that what we take from one another is, like, so vastly different. So, yeah, don't remember his name, but I do have this book, and I've recommended it to folks before. I wouldn't at this point. I think it's barely, might even be outdated at this point. I mean, maybe I'll read it again and figure it out, because it's like almost 10 years old now, I think. So, anyway, there's that story. And that's, like, part of the reason my life is beautiful, I think, because after that encounter with that person, I was like, oh man, like, I really want to, like, see this person again, and I didn't. And now it's just a funny story, you know? So that's, like, I don't know. That's maybe kind of the way it goes. And it can be that. Like, it can be just that, you know? And that doesn't have to be so sad and tragic. But, yeah. All right, well, that is my story for the day, and I hope you guys are feeling well, and I hope you do not catch whatever I am dealing with. All right, later, y'all.